Good morning, students. As you can see, we are going to discuss today ellipse, conic section, okay? And we have just started with the introduction of ellipse, right, in the class. So I'm just briefing the definition here. What is the ellipse? You know, if in the plane we have two fixed points and I name the fixed points as f1 and f2, then and I take the collection of all the points in the plane such that the sum of the distances of that point from these two fixed points is always constant. It means if any point P I am taking, right, then Pf1 plus Pf2, this is always constant. So we can even say it is the, what is the ellipse? It is the path followed by the point P in the plane such that the distance of point P or the sum of the distances of the point P from two fixed points f1 and f2 is always constant, right? So that is the definition of ellipse. And now the line segment which is passing through the foci, and these two fixed points f1 and f2, these are actually two focus and the plural will be called foci, okay? And then the line segment which is passing through these two foci, okay, and touching the ellipse at 2 points, means the endpoints of the line segment lie on the line. So this line is called, that means this line segment is called major axis, right? And the center of the foci, because the foci are at certain distance, so the center of foci will be called center, and the line passing through the center perpendicular to the major axis, this line will be called minor axis, right? And the points where the major axis is touching the ellipse, okay, that means the end points of the major axis which are lying on the ellipse, these two end points are called vertices. So this I can say v1 and v2, these two are the vertices, right? These two are the foci and this is the center of the ellipse. Now we know the length of major axis, it is given by, since major axis is the line segment, so the length of major axis is 2a, and the length of minor axis it is given as 2b, and the distance between two foci, that is f1 f2, it is given by 2c. Now the next thing, we need the equation of ellipse. Since this is the curve, so definitely there will be some equation of this curve. So in order to get the curve of the equation and other things, like we need the coordinates of foci, we need the coordinates of vertices, all these things we will be getting. For that, what we will do, we will shift our ellipse to the Cartesian system in such a way the center of the ellipse will lie at origin. Okay, so let us shift it to the Cartesian system. So for that I am just taking first of all the Cartesian system. Let us take two axes, right? So this is our x-axis and y-axis, okay, and this will be the center 0, 0. So when I am taking the ellipse, so this will be the just rough diagram of the ellipse definitely, and there will be two fixed points and these are called foci. As I said here, the distance between two foci is 2c. This is the center and it is the origin. That means the distance c, since c is the midpoint of the foci f1 and f2, so this distance f1c and f2c will be same, okay, and the total distance between f1 f2 is 2c. So that means f1c is also c distance, f2c is also c distance. So total we can say the coordinates of f2 will be c comma 0 and the coordinates of f1 it will be minus c comma 0, because f1 is lying on negative x-axis, f2 is lying on positive x-axis, right? Now next, the length of major axis is 2a. That means these two endpoints, right? So here if I mark them, let it be v1 and v2. So v1 v2 total is 2a, right? And c is the center. So V1C distance is exactly equals to C V2 distance. So total distance, if it is 2a, so that means this distance is a and here also a distance. So corresponding to which the coordinates of this vertex will be a comma 0 and here the coordinates will become minus a comma 0. So the total distance between two vertices will become 2a. Now we must know these two endpoints also because this is the minor axis. Okay, so if I give the names, let it be a and b. So AB is the minor axis. So we know the length of minor axis is 2b, corresponding to which we can get the coordinates of A point and B point also. So this distance is 2b and C is the point. And remember, this ellipse is a symmetrical curve about x-axis as well as y-axis. So it is symmetrical about both the axes. So same distance will be here and below, means on the positive y-axis, on the negative y-axis, and same on negative x-axis and positive x-axis. So total distance, if it is 2b, so the coordinates of A will become 0 comma b and the coordinates of B will become 0 comma minus b, right? All these are the points. Now one more thing, if you remember, in the parabola we said the line segment passing through the focus and touching the parabola at two endpoints, that is called lattice rectum. Since we have here two foci, so the line segment passing through the focus 1 and the line segment passing through the focus 2 both will be lattice rectum. So this line and here both are the lattice rectum only. Okay, the values of all these things we will discuss soon. So first of all, I am just explaining all the things about the curve. So what do we have? Center coordinates 0 0, foci coordinates are now. So if we write down here, we have center of the ellipse, it is 0 0 coordinates and the coordinates of foci will be plus minus c comma 0 and the coordinates of vertices will be plus minus a comma 0. Okay, this is c comma 0 plus minus a comma 0 and here we have taken horizontal ellipse. So when ellipse is horizontal, that means foci are lying on x-axis. Like that we can have the vertical ellipse also and the foci will lie on the y-axis. That also we will discuss. One more thing is here. Now we have C distance, C is the center, F is the focus, and one more term we have here, that is called eccentricity. Now what is the eccentricity? Eccentricity of an ellipse is actually the ratio of the distances from the center of the ellipse to one of the foci to one of the vertices of the ellipse. That means it is the ratio of the distance from the center to one of the foci to from the center to one of the vertices. In other words, it will be C upon A. So the E is the ratio of C upon A, where C is the distance from the center to one of the foci and A is the distance from the center to one of the vertex, right? So here if you notice, the distance between center and focus is less than the distance between center and vertex. So denominator is less than the numerator. So the value of E will always be less than 1 in the case of ellipse. So the value of eccentricity will always be less than 1 for the ellipse, right? Now we have few more things to discuss about the ellipse. So let us discuss that. So now in order to get the relationship, this distance we said it is C distance and here this total distance is A, right, and this distance is B distance, right. We have the relationship between the values of A, B and C. So relationship between A, B and C, what is that? I am just giving you the direct relationship. It is given by A square equals to B square plus C square. So remember, A square is always equals to B square plus C square. This is the relationship between A, B, C, where A is the distance of one of the vertices from the center, C is the distance of one of the foci from the center, and B is the length of semi-major axis. Now what is semi-major axis? If this is the semi minor axis, I'm sorry. If this is the major axis, so half of the major axis we can say it is the semi major axis, and this side is, if this length is the minor axis, then half of the minor axis we can say this is semi minor axis. Okay, so this is the relationship between the values a, b, c. Now the next thing, we will go to the equation of ellipse, and here we have certain rule to write down the equation of ellipse. Now what is that? Here, instead of discussing how we are getting the ellipse, we will just use the equation of ellipse. So what is the equation of ellipse, or I will say standard equation of ellipse? So first of all, I am writing for the horizontal ellipse. Now the question is how we will come to know which ellipse it is, whether it is the horizontal ellipse or the vertical ellipse. How we will come to know, right? The equation of horizontal ellipse is given by x square upon a square plus y square upon b square equals to 1. So this is the equation of horizontal ellipse, and here a will be greater than b. That means I can even say a square will be greater than b square. So this is the important condition. Okay, so whenever any equation is given, x square upon a square plus y square upon b square equals to 1. Just like the equation of circle, here also we have both x and y as the square terms only, and but yes, we don't have here any linear term. Remember this thing. So x square upon a square plus y upon b square equals to 1 is given, where what is the value of a? A will be the length of semi major axis, and what is b? B is the length of semi minor axis, right? So this is the value, and here if I know a square is greater than b square, that means, what does it mean? If a square is greater than b square, it means the major axis is lying on x axis. Okay, otherwise it is symmetrical about both x axis and y axis, there is no problem. But when we have the denominator of x square greater than the denominator of y square, it means the foci lie on x axis, and when the foci lie on x axis, it means our ellipse is horizontal ellipse, right? This is the important thing to understand. And the other case, if I am having the vertical ellipse, let me give you the small hint. If this will be of this kind, vertical ellipse, then what will happen? Foci will lie on y axis, so the coordinates, and this will be our, let me mark a, b, and this will be c, d. Now a, b will be here major axis, okay, and c, d, it is the minor axis. Now if you just observe the picture or the sketch of the curve here, the foci always lie on the major axis. Remember, here also foci lie on the major axis, so foci will always lie on major axis. So here the coordinates of foci will become 0 comma a, and it will be 0 comma minus a. Okay, the vertices will be here 0 comma any 0 comma c and minus c, 0 comma a, and here it will become 0 comma minus a. So this will be about y axis. Now the major axis is about y axis, so in this case what will happen then? The denominator of y square will be greater than the denominator of x square. So the equation will become x square plus b square upon y square plus y square upon a square equals to 1. Once again, a square is greater than b square. In other words, whatever denominator is bigger, right? If the denominator of x square is greater than the denominator of y square, the major axis is about x axis, okay, and if the denominator of y square is greater than x square's denominator, then the major axis is about y axis. That is it. This is what we are supposed to remember. Right now, how we will be getting the values of a square, b square, and if it is given, if I am given the equation, what are the things that we can calculate, right? So if I know the equation is given and I come to know that a square is greater than b square, from the equation we can calculate the first thing, the coordinates of vertices I can calculate, And after that, with the help of this relationship, if I know the value of A, the value of B, I can calculate the value of C. And if I know C, we can calculate the coordinates of foci, right? If A is known, that means the vertices I can write down. C I can calculate. The coordinates of foci we can write down. Then the length of major axis, length of minor axis we can write down. Okay. And the next thing, now lattice rectum. What is the formula for the lattice rectum? Let me write down here itself. So length of lattice rectum here, that is what is the formula for the length of lattice rectum as well as eccentricity also we will be calculating. So the eccentricity is E equals to C upon 1, and the length of lattice rectum will be given by B square upon A. So length of lattice rectum we can calculate, and the value of eccentricity also we can calculate. So these two things we will be able to calculate if the equation is given and I come to know that which type of ellipse it is. Is it a horizontal ellipse or the vertical ellipse? So whatever denominator is bigger, that means that is the value of A square, in other words, right? So now we will discuss few sums based upon this thing so that we can start the exercise. Okay, before going to the exercise, I am just finalizing the things. If the equation of ellipse is x square upon a square plus y square upon b square, if this is the equation, which ellipse it will be? It is horizontal ellipse. Why I am saying it is horizontal ellipse? The value of a square will be greater than value of b square, right? After this, I can write down the coordinates of foci. So the coordinates of foci will be plus minus c comma 0. Coordinates of vertices will be then plus minus a comma 0. Okay, length of lattice rectum will be b square upon a. The value of eccentricity is c upon a, and in order to calculate the foci, we need the value of c. We have the relationship. What is the relationship between a, b and c? We have just done a square equals to b square plus c square. Just now we have I have given you the relationship between ABC. It is a square equals to b square plus c square. So all these things will be there. Okay, and from this equation we will be calculating foci, vertices, length of lattice rectum, eccentricity. Next, if the equation is like x square upon b square plus y square upon a square equals to 1. Oh, I have forgotten to write down here equals to 1. Definitely this is always equal to 1. Then it is vertical ellipse. Why I am saying it is vertical ellipse? Now the denominator of y square will be greater than the denominator of x square. So in this case, foci will be 0 comma plus minus c. Vertices will be 0 comma plus minus c. Eccentricity will remain same, c upon a. The length of lattice rectum will remain same, b square upon a. That's it. Okay. So this is about the equations of ellipse and what are the things that we can calculate. Okay. Now we will start with the sums of the exercise so that we can practice all these things in the numericals. So we are starting with exercise 11.3. From sum number 1 to 9 they are asking, find the coordinates of foci, vertices, length of major axis, the minor axis, eccentricity and length of the lattice rectum, right? So all these things we are supposed to calculate. Given equation is, we are given here x square upon 36 plus y square upon 16 equals to 1. So now in this given equation, the denominator of x square is greater than the denominator of y square. So I can write down here denominator of x square is greater than the denominator of y square. So it is horizontal ellipse. Okay, it is horizontal ellipse. So the value of a square is 36, which implies the value of a will be 6. Remember, I will not write a is equals to plus minus 6. Why so? because what is A? A is the length of semi-major axis. A is the distance of one of the vertex from the center, so it can't be negative. So A square is 36, that means the value of A is 6, and B square is 16, so the value of B will be 4. A value we got it, B value we know. Even with the relationship between A, B, C, we can calculate the value of C also, right? So let us calculate that. So A square, B square values are 36 and 16. So let us do here. We have A square is equals to 36, B square equals to 16. As we have A square equals to B square plus C square, so A square minus B square will give you C square. That means 36 minus 16 is the value of C square, that is 20 is equals to C square. If C square is equals to 20, that means the value of C will be root 20. Root 20 I can say 2 root 5. Okay, so C value is also calculated. Therefore, first of all, length of major axis. Length of major axis means it is 2A. The value of A is 6. The value of B is 4. So this will be 2 into 6, that is, what will be 2 into 6? It is 12. Similarly, we can write down the length of minor axis. So what will be the length of minor axis? It is given by 2b, so that is 2 into 4, that is 8. And now we will write down coordinates of foci. How the coordinates of foci will be given? Since it is horizontal, so it is plus minus c comma 0. The value of c we have calculated 2 root 5, so this will be plus minus 2 root 5 comma 0. And the coordinates of vertices, the coordinates of vertices will be plus minus a comma 0. A is 6, so this will be plus minus 6 comma 0. Done. Now eccentricity is given by c upon a. The value of c is 2 root 5, a is 6, so this will be root 5 divided by 3, right? Now length of latus rectum. So what will be the length of latus rectum? It is b square upon a. B square is 16, a is 6, so this will be given by 8 by 3. So that will be the length of latus rectum. So all these things are done, and this is how from the given equation we will be calculating all these parts, right? Similarly, sum number 3 you people can do, and one more sum we will discuss where the denominator of y square is greater than the denominator of x square. So let us do sum number 4. Okay, sum number 4, the given ellipse is x square upon 25 plus y square upon 100 equals to 1. So whatever denominator is bigger, that means it is a. Since the denominator of y square is greater, so first of all I am just writing that this is the vertical ellipse. This is for my own convenience. Okay, so the value of a square is 100. It implies the value of a will be 10. The value of b square is 25, so the value of b will be 5. And we know c square will be given as a square minus b square. So 100 minus 25 will be 75, and which implies the value of c is root 75. Root 75 will be 5 root 5. Okay, so this is the value of c. Now what are the other things? A, B, C all are calculated. So the length of major axis. What will be the length of major axis? Again it is 2a only. A is 10, so this will be 20. Length of minor axis, it is given by 2b. B value is 5, so it will become 10. And now the coordinates of foci. Foci here it will become 0 comma plus minus c, because it is vertical ellipse, as the denominator of y square is greater than the denominator of x square. So vertical ellipse coordinates foci and the vertices both will lie on y axis. So 0 comma plus minus c, that means 0 comma plus minus 5 root 5. I am rewriting it, 0 comma plus minus 5 root 5, and vertices coordinates will be 0 comma plus minus a, that means 0 comma plus minus 10. So these are the vertices. Now eccentricity is given by c upon a. The value of c is 5 root 5, a is 10. So the value of eccentricity will be root 5 divided by 2. And the last thing, the length of latus rectum, that is L, it is b square upon a. The value of b square is 25. So 25 upon 10 will be 5 by 2. All the things are calculated. Similarly, you people will be able to do the first 9 sums of exercise 11.3. And let me explain one more thing. In the last 3 sums, sum number 7, 8 and 9, the equations are not given in the standard form. Okay, so for that, first of all, we will convert them into the standard form by making the right hand side equal to 1. So whatever right hand side is there, we will divide both sides by that particular RHS number, and we are getting the equation in the standard form. And then you will be writing all these things: the length of major axis, minor axis, foci, vertices, eccentricity, latus rectum, right? So you people can do first 9 sums of the exercise based upon the given equation of ellipse, right? Thank you, students.